My drive was simply I wanted to make more money. Successful, thriving, fruitful baddies. And that's on period. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Jan here with another video, and this time it's going to be a sit down video. I'm going to talk to you guys about how I started my first business when I was 19 years old. Let's get to it. So I wrote a couple notes on my book, my very cute Taurus book. So I'll be looking down every now and then just so I remember my points and I don't leave anything out. When I was 19 years old, that was in 2020 during the lockdown. During lockdown, I was in my third year of medical school, but then in March, they sent everyone home. So from March until I think about September or October, I was at home. And we all know how home can be. For those who are used to staying out of home, like who went to boarding school, who went to res in uni, you just know that staying at home longer than you have to can get a little bit, as much as you love your family, but it can be like you're used to all the independence and then now you're back under someone's roof and it wasn't giving. And that actually was one of the reasons why I started my business. So let's get into it. Start off with, what was my drive to start a business? My drive was simply I wanted to make more money. Period. Tired of asking my parents for pocket money. My parents are generally they work really hard for their money. They're like middle class. I would always feel a bit bad for asking for money, like pocket money, or if I wanted a new wig, because I was a girl of things. So I was like, no, let's actually stop right here. Let me make my own money. I'm pretty sure I can. So I had only two options. It's either I saved more money or I made more money. Couldn't save more money because my pocket money wasn't that great. So I was like, I need to make more money to fund my lifestyle. The lifestyle that I wanted was a very luxurious lifestyle for my age. I was a girl of things. I wanted my nails done. I wanted a wig. I wanted to buy more makeup because I just started getting into makeup. And it was an era, I don't know if you guys remember during COVID and lockdown, it was an era on the social media that was all about self-care, baddies, slay queens. That whole vibe was very rampant in that area, especially the self-care. I got into it and I was like, this is me, this is what I deserve. I deserve soft life. I'm 19 years old and I deserve that life, period. So I was like, I need it and I'm going to get it, but I need money to do it. And I don't want to ask my parents for money. So 1 + 1 equals, girl, you gotta get to work. You gotta get to work.
You better work.
So yeah, so that's what was my drive. So first of all, you need a drive. What I did after that is that I did some research. YouTube culture was big that time. So there was lots of new YouTubers because everyone is at home. Everyone used their free time to make content, which was very helpful. Everyone was also getting into the online e-commerce field. I researched a lot of videos, YouTube videos, articles, and Instagram posts about how to start your own online business. And it seemed very accessible. This leads me to the strategy that I used to start my online business. Number one, I identified what I love and what I would want to be sold to me. So I knew for a fact that I loved makeup, I loved skincare, I loved jewelry, I loved wigs. So knowing all the things that I love led me to my next strategy, to identify a gap in the market, a gap or a trend in the market, or a high demand in the market. If you guys know Saweetie and hip hop, American hip hop was very not hip hop, American trap was very in. Hot Girls was in. That was Megan Thee Stallion was coming up. Saweetie was coming up. The City Girls were coming up. So it was all that vibe and lockdown. And Cuban links were a big deal at that point. And I would always watch their posts and see their posts and be like, oh, I wish I had a Cuban link. Why can't I get it? I live in South Africa and I just didn't see any sources for Cuban links. And so that was the gap in my market that I identified, because I was like, wait a minute, what if I can be the person that sells these Cuban links to people? Because I'm pretty sure civilians, many of them, many cool kids out there are looking for where to buy them, but the only places they can either buy them are either thousands of rands, or you have to buy it online, internationally, and then it takes forever. So then I was like, I want to be the bridge in the gap where people can have affordable Cuban links, they can still get the look, and in a short amount of time, because I'll be a South African source. The third strategy is to identify your target market. This is a very important part of your plan because your target market feeds into your brand, what your brand is going to be. It feeds into what marketing strategies you're going to use, and it also feeds into how you're going to price your products. So I had to identify the target market. So the target market I wanted was people like me, like baddies, people who are materialistic, because I'm materialistic shame. Also people who just like the finer things in life, who want to look luxurious, who want to look expensive, and my age range. So that was my target market. Brings us to number 4. To identify your brand design, and your brand name. The name of my jewelry company was Star Empire. It was very much on a whim at that time because I was Star Girl Jan on Instagram, and that's because I had the biggest crush on Wizkid at the time, and he's known as Starboy. So I was like, I'm gonna be Star Girl because I'm gonna marry Wizkid. And then my middle name is Esther, which means star. So then I was like, okay, let's keep the star. It's looking like star should be in this. And then Empire, it's because I had a vision of it becoming something bigger than just a small online business. So then yeah, Star and Empire. So you kind of just have to look into yourself and what statement are you trying to make, and that should lead you to the brand name that you're trying to go for. And the design, so my logo was a diamond because I'm selling jewelry and I'm selling Cubans, which are known for like being diamonds or cubic zirconia or rhinestone. So that was my logo, so that when people see it, they know exactly what I'm selling. And yeah, the next step is to identify your platform for buying your inventory. I used AliExpress because it offered a range of products and a range of vendors that I could really pinpoint and decide who I want to choose. And then the next thing is to identify your platform for sales. So I used Instagram because at the point I didn't have enough money to start an online business, but then thankfully eventually I was able to make enough money to get my own website, but in the beginning I didn't. So Instagram was my main page for selling my products. Next point in the strategy is to identify a marketing strategy. I chose Instagram as my means of making sales, so my marketing was going to be heavily based on Instagram. You can do a lot of research on it. And sometimes you don't even have to do a lot of research. You'll be surprised how natural it comes. Just take, for example, the biggest brands that you know on Instagram or wherever, and how you come about to see their products. It's usually on influencers, on paid ads, etc., etc. So yeah, I used influencers because influencer culture in South Africa is massive. It's actually very monopolized, but it helps pay the bill. Yeah, you can use anything for your marketing strategy, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Google Ads, whether it's YouTube, whether it's TikTok. TikTok is big now, so yeah, the list is endless. The next point is capital, very big. And this is one of the biggest obstacles to people even starting, because they're probably thinking, where will I get the money to buy all these things? I don't even have enough to start a business. It's gonna be so expensive. True, but you don't have to start with like 100 pieces of jewelry. When I started with literally 20 pieces of the Cuban links. And at that point, 20 pieces, I think was about 1.4 thousand rand, 1,400 rand. So I was broke. I was like, I didn't have money. I used all my pocket money on makeup. So I was broke there at home during lockdown. So I was like, you know what? I can't let this stop me, because what's waiting for me on the other side is bigger than my brokenness right now. So then I literally went to my mom and I made a deal with her. I didn't even want to tell her what I was doing because my parents are very strict. They're very like, focus on med school. What are you doing? Anything outside of med school is going to distract you. Don't do it. I spoke to my mom because I know my dad, he was not even. So I was like, let me try my mom. So I was like, Mom, I'm starting a business and I need some startup money. May I please have 2,000 rand? I'm going to pay you back in 3 to 4 months. So that's what I said. So I made it like it's a loan. So she's not just giving it to me for free. So it was sort of an incentive for her because she's going to get her money back. And it's also a push for me to do really well with the business. So then I asked my mom for startup capital of 2,000 rand. And thankfully I was able to pay her back over the months. With the profit. So you could take out a loan, but then you have to pay it back. That's gonna be your drive. Like, take out the loan, whoever you need to ask. It doesn't have to be gang money. Take out that loan and pay it back. Like, that's gonna be your drive to be really good at what you're doing. Next is to actually buy the stock. So now you have your target market, you have your blueprint of what you want this brand to look like. So then buy the stock, darling. Buy now. Don't waste your time. Get it. So then I bought it on AliExpress. It took forever because I'm in South Africa, so it took like 2 weeks. But I had that time because I was stuck in lockdown. I was like, you know what, whatever. Whether it takes 2 weeks or a month, I'm gonna be here bring it here. Next is you want to decide how much profit you're going to make. I'm a medical student. I don't know anything about finance, guys, and this is just to prove that you don't need to know anything about finance to start a business. Like, you know just a little bit from what you research, but you don't have to be an expert. So I didn't know much about finance. I just knew that it cost me 100 Rand for this piece on AliExpress, and delivery is like 500 Rand. There's a certain profit margin that I need to make to break even so that it covers delivery costs and packaging costs. My profit margin was like 100 to 150%. So basically I doubled the price on whatever I bought. And then this would cover the stock price, and it would also cover the delivery expenses and the packaging expenses. So yeah, so it all worked out. So you sort of have to match your profit margin to your business's potential expenses. You only really do that if your product matches the price. Like, you're not gonna price something high if it does not look high. You want to match it to the value that it gives, but at the same time you want to make it accessible to your target market. So that's why it's very important to identify who your target market is, because that's going to determine your price. Once you've decided your profit margin, you want to find a delivery company / packaging company. I won't talk too much about packaging in this video because I didn't really start off with packaging, to be honest. The packaging I got from AliExpress, like the clear plastic, is what I sent, or how I delivered it to my customers, and it worked. Like, people didn't really care about that. They just wanted the Cubans. So it shouldn't be a big thing, because that is another expense, and I think that's something that you can make your goal once your business starts making revenue. Yeah, so the delivery company that I used was Aramex, and I delivered nationwide only, because if I decided to do it outside the country, people were going to be paying 500 Rand, and I was like, no, there's no point. I realized people prefer door-to-door than having to go to the post office, so I made sure my delivery company was a door-to-door kind of company. The price that the delivery company charged me to ship the products is the price that I charged the customers to receive the products, so that at the end of the day, the money that they give me kind of covers the delivery cost. After you have your products, they're sitting with you at home or wherever you are, now you have to start. So open up your online profile and start posting on you. You can either get you. I used myself as a model, and I used my little brother as a model. So we just like so I'll just take pictures of the bracelets on my arm, and I'll take pictures on the bracelets on him. So it would sort of be like a him and her kind of jewelry. As soon as you get your first customer, ask the customer for a review or a post. You need to post that customer, because people want to see real faces attached to your products. Otherwise, they'll think it's a scam. In the beginning, many people thought that my company was a scam. Rightfully so, because I mean, it's fresh out of the boat. But then that's when you'll begin to appreciate customers, like your first customers especially. They trusted you with their money to make that purchase, and so you have to do a good job. Other thing I also did was that I posted it on my on my socials, so that my friends or anyone else on my Instagram would repost. And at that point, I didn't have a lot of Instagram. I'm not like an Instagram personality, so I had like 1,000 followers or so, but it was mostly my friends. So my friends can reshare and repost, so I can get a following on my Star Empire account. And yeah, so started selling my products, got customers. And so yeah, guys, that's how I started my business at 19 years old with little to no money. My take-home message is that if you want to start now. Beginner's perfection is a scam. That whole thing of, oh, I need this and I need that and I need this, is a scam. Like, you only need your vision, a rough plan, and you can really start. You're the only one in your way. Like, obviously I'm talking very relatively. I know a lot of people's lives are different, a lot of people's challenges are different, but ultimately you can really start. So I'd say, if you have an interest in something, go for it. If you want a certain life you want to live, go for it. So with that business, I started in my 3rd year of medical school, and it was able to carry me through medical school in terms of additional pocket money. So then I was able to like buy wigs and live a baddie life and go to restaurants with my friends and buy makeup, etc, etc. So it really helped with the objective that I did. But then there's more that I have to say about this business, and I will make a video about how I began to grow my business, how I grew it to a successful one. I'll make it in my next video, so you should stay tuned for that. I'll also make a video about all the things that I've learned on reflection after starting a business, like the pros and the cons. Make a video on that, so you guys should stay tuned to Jan. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it helps whoever's on the fence of whether they can start their online business now. I hope this helps you, to motivate you a little bit. You can do it and you are more than capable. So yeah, see you next time. Please like this video, subscribe and share. I look forward to seeing you guys in my next videos. Join the community. Let's all be baddies together. Successful, thriving, fruitful baddies. And that's on period. And not to mention hardworking, ambitious baddies. That's the community. Subscribe. Thank you. But yeah, bye.